Why, hello there, everyone. Happy Friday. I know on the East Coast it's quitting time, so I appreciate anybody that's here being here. And if you're not here, I don't appreciate you at all. And you won't know that I don't appreciate you because you're not here. So now that that's all out of the way, if at any point you can hear or see me, please let me know that so I know that I'm not talking to myself because that's embarrassing. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up TikTok because we're gonna be on TikTok as well because I like attention. And we just dropped from a bunch of people to only a few people, which is interesting. Tyron says good to go. Keith says, hey Chris, see and hear you fine. Thank you, Tyron and Keith. You go ahead and fire up TikTok. Still the gambling industry. If I can figure out how. Industry and economy. That's weird. It doesn't show me the option for live. What the hell? Las Vegas has kept the. What the hell? It doesn't show me the option for live. 1 second. Brisk Web Services says a good evening from Serbia. 2 of my team are from Serbia, so I'm glad to see you. Cartoon Adventure says, I'm waiting for you for 30 minutes. Well, your wait is over, my friend. That's so weird. Why am I not getting the option for live on TikTok? Huh. World Steakhouse has a power. There it is. All right, so let me go ahead and get started now that we got all that out of the way. If you're watching on TikTok, jump over to YouTube. It's going to be a better experience. It's chrismwalker.tv, or you can just watch there. That's fine too. Kent says, hey, Chris, it's been a minute. It has. Aaron says, ew, it has not been a minute since I saw you. Hey, Chris, hope you're doing great. Henry, can't help you right now. Sorry, buddy. All right. So I think what we'll do, we'll give everybody 5 minutes or so to get on, and then we'll just kind of cover what we have to talk about today. If you have any questions, I can do those at any point as well. We are talking about the 10 in 10 playbook. And let me make sure I have that uploaded to like a Dropbox or something so I can share it easily. So let me do that while we're waiting. But yeah, if you have any questions, say hello, or if you just want to say hello, you can do that as well. Pretty good turnout for a last minute on a Friday stream. If you ask me again, Henry Danger, I'm going to have to remove you from the stream. Okay. It's not what I'm here to talk about today. I think I know who you are anyway, and I think your ban is going to stick. So I'm going to put the link to the playbook that we're going to be going through today in the chat. Aaron says he won't. I think he meant he won't repeat whatever mistake it was he made. So he's not being a douche in the way that you took that, but I could be wrong as well. All right, so let's put that on Facebook as well. If you're watching on one of the other platforms, it's going to be a better experience if you hop over to, yeah. Guys, stop with the support questions, okay? I'm going to be rude to you if you do. So just stop and have some respect, all right? Someone whose name I can't pronounce, no offense, of course, says, hope you are well. I'm from Dubai. Oh, cool. If you guys haven't spent $200 on Legit and gotten your 1 hour consulting call with Chris, you are missing out. Well, thank you. Yes, I had a call with Aaron yesterday. It was very informative for me and hopefully for him as well. And I had 2 others yesterday, and I've got about 30 or so that are either done or pending. So yeah, selling my time. All right, I got about 2 minutes and then we'll get into the playbook. But I put that in the chat. I would put the link on the screen, but it doesn't really do any good. So yeah, but let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll just go through what we're going to go through. It's almost, how long will this live be? Usually I allocate an hour for these. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. So. You open the Dropbox links. Cool. It should be what you see on your screen right now. So, all right, we'll give it another 1 or 2 minutes and then we're going to get into it. Yeah. Cash is good at Matt on TikTok. Man, I just do not understand TikTok. Like, I enjoy certain things I consume on it, but as a creator, I just do not get it. Not that I really consider myself a creator, but. All right, let me ask this. Who here runs an agency? And if you do, how, you don't have to say what level you're at, but are you, well, I don't want to embarrass anybody. You can choose to not answer, but if you are at $5,000 a month or less in your business, let me know in the chat, in the comments, whatever it is where you are. Kent says here. Hey, Kent. Man, I need a shave. Tyron says, I'm just starting. You already jumped in, so I'm glad to see that. Kent says above 5K. Okay, well, this will still help, but this is definitely targeted at folks under 5K. And the reason that it is because I polled my audience a couple times recently to see where they were so I could see how I could help. Brink Web Services says, I'm just restarting. Okay. What part of Serbia are you in? Are you in, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but the people that work for me are in Kragujevac. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but that's where they are. Okay, if you ask one more time, Cartoon Adventure, you're out of here. I already told you I'm not going to talk about this today. All right? If you bring it up again, I'm going to ban you from the channel. Okay, have some respect. We're here to talk about a very specific thing today. If you need help with legit support, use legit support. I pay people a pretty good money to be manned 24 hours a day. We're the only people that don't fucking force a chat bot on you to do support, okay? Use that. Have some respect. I'm only a little above that amount. Most of my leads are word of mouth, and some people find me through SEO. All right, well, this will be a good fit for you. That also includes software development for agencies. Oh, cool. That's a cool niche. All right, let's get into it. So basically, I have put together, and let me grab the other link as well. A playbook for you to help you speed up getting appointments. And, you know, oh, you're from Kragujevac as well. That's where they live as well. My director of operations and my head of customer support both live there. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, if you're watching on TikTok, well, you're not because there's 0 people watching. But if you are, this isn't going to make any sense because you can't see my screen. But let me go full screen here. Yeah, anyway, this is a playbook I put together that is designed to help people get, Now it does assume that you have either some past clients or a list of prospects that you want to reach out to, but it basically gives you some simple things that you can do in the next 10 days to book yourself 10 appointments, either from cold or from warm outreach. And I'm going to give you some exact scripts and some other things to kind of walk through it. And this is completely free. Everybody can use this. It's part of what I call the Think Big Launchpad, which is going to be different things I put out to help different people at different parts of their entrepreneurial journey, because everything is a journey for some reason. So I'm just going to go through this. If at any point you have any questions or you need a link or anything like that, just fire away and I will answer them, because that's kind of what you do with questions, is you answer them. That's some of the brilliant insight you can expect to hear here. Anyhow, let's get into it. Let's define what a qualified appointment is. Let me zoom in so you can see. Hopefully you can see that okay. A qualified appointment equals a decision maker plus a problem fit plus a budget range plus a 15-minute slot booked. That's how I'm defining a qualified appointment. The goal of this playbook is to book you 10 qualified appointments in the next 10 days using simple steps. It should take 20 to 40 minutes a day. Obviously, if you do more, you'll get more, because that's the way things work. And you'll use email, DMs, and a tracker that is part of the Accelerator as well. And here's how you're going to use it. You're going to do each task each day and use the scripts as written, because these are ones that have been battle tested and proven to work. You log everything in the pipeline tracker, which should be linked somewhere in the guide. If it's not, let me know. And then you're going to follow the cadence. So day 0, which is really day 1, but I call it day 0 because it's like prep. Day 2, 5, 8, 12, 16, and 21, you're going to do cold outreach. And then it's going to give you post-call outreach for people that you have a call with to help book them. It's going to tell you to use 2 time options when proposing a call. And if those don't work, use a calendar link. And if you want to get a more in-depth walkthrough of all of this, I've put together the the 10 and 10 Accelerator, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. So that's kind of how this is going to work. And this is what qualifies as a qualified appointment. So day 0 is a warm reactivation quick win. So what I mean by that, this is someone that is a previous customer or that you've spoken to, or at least knows that you exist, and you're trying to get them to have a call with you to sell whatever your thing is. For most of the people watching this, that's probably going to be SEO. But it could be anything, most anything. Anyway, so this is going to be an email, and the subject line is going to be quick idea for first name. Anything you see in brackets is a variable. So you would put their first name, or if you're using some sort of email program, you would use the thing that they all supply for that. So you're going to say, hi, let me zoom in some more. First name, are you still working on goal? Goal being whatever it is they're working on in their business. Again, this presumes that you know something about them. I help niche. So plumber, dentist, software, whatever industry they're in, get outcome, the thing that they're working on that you help them get. If you don't know what your offer is, that's a whole other ball of wax. But this assumes that you have a bit of a business and you know what your offer is without pain. Pain being the thing that they don't like about their industry, and that makes it hard for them to get whatever their goal is. Are you open to a quick 15-minute call? ? Here are 2 options. Now, this is important. 2 times is a variable that I have come up with. What you're going to do is say, I have times at Monday at 3 or Wednesday at 12. And then you say, if those don't work, use my calendar. So the reason we're doing it that way is we try to box them into 2 times that you have available, because it makes you seem urgent or scarce and valuable. But in case those legitimately don't work for them, you take that objection away too by giving them your calendar link. Okay. So what I want you to do is do 10 of these or 20 of these a day on your first day, day 0. And then if you've done any cold, you would do some cold, or if you haven't done any cold, we'll get to that in a minute. But then you do 5 follow-ups if you've had a first one. So that's kind of the cadence for day 0. Again, if you have any questions or whatever, let me know. But we're going to move right along to day number 1. This is warm network reactivation. And this is going to be an email and a DM. And this is going to go to past clients, old leads, and peers, meaning people that you have worked with in the past that no longer work with you, or people that you reached out to in the past that just they didn't turn into customers for whatever reason, or people that are your peers. Hopefully you know what a peer is. The subject is going to be the classic quick question, first name. Then you're going to say, hi, first name. Are you still working on goal? I help niche get outcome without pain. And basically the same message as the first one. And the DM is going to be similar, but it's got to be a little more succinct, right? So for the DM, you're going to identify them on, you have a confusion, I don't care. Okay. If you have a question, you can ask. If it's not about legit, if it's about legit, again, you're out of here. You're going to say, hey, first name, are you still focused on goal? And this is not written right. They say, would you like to do basically the same thing as here. Are you open to 10 to 15 minutes or a short loom? And I can help you with it. Something to that effect. You don't have to copy and paste these directly. You want to tweak them to your own voice just a little bit. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you make it just a tiny bit shorter for DM. Okay. And then you're going to send 20 of those, and then you're going to do 10 cold, which we're going to look at in a minute, and then some 5 follow-ups. Day 2 is warm follow-up. So this is a follow-up to the people that you have already sent those out to. Subject is going to be circling back, first name, bumping this up. It's worth a quick call about outcome, the thing that you help them get, the thing that your offer does. If not, who's the best person to speak with? This removes the objection of, it's not me that you would talk to about this. It's my, I don't know, CEO or my director of operations or my marketing manager or whoever it is. It's basically helping you figure out who you should be talking to if this isn't. And then you do the 2 options again. This is key to the whole thing. 2 options. I have times available at X and Y, but if those don't work, use my calendar link. Chris says, I love the warm follow-up, I promise. They love the warm follow-up, I promise. Great. And then the DM is similar. Quick bump. Is it worth a call about their goal? And then you give them the 2 times again. If that is tough, use my calendar. So basically, it's just a condensed version of this, because DMs, you don't like to send paragraphs because it's just a different format, right? So that is day 2. Now we're going to move along. Can we do these phone calls instead of messaging? I find emails going to spam. If your emails are going into spam, you're doing something wrong. You're doing too many, or you're sending them incorrectly. You can do phone calls, though, if you prefer. But these were designed for email and DM. But yeah, cold call definitely works. You're going to want to tweak the script a little bit, though, because you just speak differently when you speak to people with your mouth. You know what I mean? So, but yes, you can definitely do cold calling. All right, day 3, targeted cold outreach. Now, this time we are moving into cold outreach rather than people that are familiar with us. So the subject is going to be idea for brisk web solutions on getting more leads. I'm just using one of the people watching as an example, but you would obviously put in whatever in those variables. Hey, first name, I noticed that your company name is working on goal. I help people in your niche get this outcome without this pain. It's kind of similar to the warm, but we're tweaking it a little bit. Are you open to 15 minutes to see if this fits? If so, I have 2 times available on Wednesday at 2 and Friday at 1. But if those don't work for you, you can pick a time that does on my calendar link. Or, and this is important, if I can send you a 2-minute loom with 1 to 2 ideas so you can look at it at your convenience, something like that. And if you're going to do this in DM, you're going to take a whole different approach, because you need to explain to them why you are DMing them. And you're going to say, I saw your post on topic. I help niche get with outcome Would you like a quick chat or a short loom? See how you're presenting it as there is no option other than a quick chat or a short loom. You're not saying if you're interested or anything like that. You're literally making it seem there's a psychology to this. Now, it's not going to work on everybody, but people, when presented with two options, have an almost irresistible urge to choose one of them. So you're taking advantage of that psychology and giving them two options. And the two options are a quick chat about whatever it is you want to chat about, or a short loom. A loom, if you don't know, is a short video recording. So that's why that one works. Okay. So it's very important that you use the two options framework throughout all of these. So if there's not any questions on that, we're going to move on to the next one. But if there is, ask them, because that's what you do with questions. Lewis says, I'm tuned in. Welcome aboard, Lewis. All right, we're on day 4, and this is cold follow-up to the people that we just outreached on the previous day. Subject, worth a quick call. Following up on my note below, I've got a simple approach that has helped with goal, meaning you're going to say, I've helped other people in your industry with this goal. I've got 2 options this week. Again, we hit those 2 times, and then the calendar link. I want you to drill that 2 options in the thing into your head, because that's what makes this whole thing work. You give them 2 options. And again, you're taking advantage of the psychological principle that when faced with 2 options, people feel almost obligated to choose one of them, even if they're not, well, even if they don't think that they're interested. So that's absolutely critical. Or if you're going to do this via DM, you'd say, hey, quick nudge. You want a short checklist on whatever their goal is. I can walk you through it in 10 minutes. See how it's kind of like it's the same thing, but like a different, more casual approach. That's because DM is a more informal form of communication when compared to email. So you're going to tweak. It's the same message with different words. I'm trying to explain to you the psychology behind all of this, as well as just point and click, although you can certainly do it that way if you prefer. And then there's the quota again. And if you want to get like more in depth on this, I'll show you that in a minute, but we'll keep going. Day 5 is content to call. So this is where this is just going to be to DM. Action, post a short tip or a case study, that should say case study, on whatever their goal is, and end with comment or DM me for the checklist. This is going to be a post that you make on your social media. So post something that is beneficial to the people that you've been DMing, and then comment and tell them to comment or DM for a checklist. The DM to the people that actually engage with you is to, thanks for checking out the post on topic. You want the checklist or a 10-minute walkthrough. Again, we're taking advantage of the fact that people feel obligated to choose one or the other when you present it as the only options. And by the way, if you're single, this works really well with dating. You want to go out on Saturday, or would you prefer Friday night? So just a little dating foo for those of you that are still on the market. All right, day 6, engage the engagers. This is people that have engaged and responded. Notice, and then the subject is going to be checklist for goal. Notice you checked out my post on topic here, and people that have engaged with your posts and things. Here's the checklist. You want a 10-minute walkthrough this week? And again, we hit them with the 2 options. If those don't work, use my calendar link. And the DM is sending the checklist. Would you also like a 10-minute walkthrough? See how simple that is? It's just direct to the point. It acknowledges something that they have already done, and so that you are familiar with them. And then it gives them something of value, which will in itself sell them on whatever it is you do, but actually does provide value. That's kind of key to providing value, is to actually provide value. So there's that. Day 7 is objection reframes. So when you're doing outreach, people are going to object for various reasons, and you need to be able to reframe those objections so that you can get the yes and get the meeting. So here are some common pushbacks and replies. And this is to people that you've presented your thing to. We can begin with a small pilot focused on, if the objection is the price, it's too expensive. I don't have the money. I need to, wait till Q3, whatever it is. We can begin with a small pilot focused on a small milestone. If we miss it, you don't continue. So this is giving them a sliver of it. So if you're selling, I don't know, suppose you're selling social media management on LinkedIn, that gives them like 1 month to try it out. And if you don't like see an increase in engagement or leads or calls or whatever it is, then they don't have to continue. See how it's like removing the long-term commitment from it? That's one approach. Timing. So if they say it's a bad time, it's kind of the same thing. We can start with a low lift setup that runs in the background so you don't lose momentum. Instead of it being a big ask or anything, it's just a small thing that they can do with almost no effort for them, so it doesn't affect the timing. If they give a bullshit, and I'm sorry, but it is bullshit when people say this, it's usually trying to get out of it. If they have to think about it, it's usually a fit timing, or you just ask them. Again, see how we're presenting them with options? They are going to feel obligated to choose. Usually okay, Bill, when people say that they need to think about it, it usually means it's not a good fit, the timing is wrong, or they don't see the ROI. Let me know which one of those it is, and I can address it for you in 2 minutes. See how we are assuming it's one of those. We're presenting them with those as the only options. If it's not one of those, they'll tell you what it is, and then you can still address it. So this is almost unbeatable as an objection reframe. And then you just address it. And again, you're going to do that with as many of these as you can. So that's day 7. Day 8 is a referral ask. So this is going to be email or DM. And this is when they haven't really replied or anything like that. I'm going to say, hey, look, Steve, if this isn't a priority for you right now, that's fine. But let me ask you this. Is there anyone that you in your circle that is focused on this outcome? I'd really appreciate it if you can introduce them to me. I'd love to help them out. And then, in the future, if you change your mind and this turns out it's a fit for you in the future, let me know. But ask for the referral. That way, like, why not? Like, they've already turned you down. You might as well shoot your shot with somebody else. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to say, I don't know anyone. But then even that's not true, because everybody knows someone. So that is day 8, the referral ask. That brings us down to day 9. This is close the loop. This is like when they haven't replied at all, or they're just not showing interest. You want to shoot one last shot before you give up on this particular lead. Say, hey, Steve, I haven't heard from you. And as I was closing out this week's calendar, I noticed that I hadn't heard from you. I just want to know if I should hold this spot open for you or release it to somebody else. Either answer helps me plan, so I'd appreciate it. So again, you're almost making them feel guilty if they don't answer, and let you take the burden of you holding your calendar open for them away. So it's a real simple one, but it works really, really well. And then day 10 is a review and a blitz. So update your tracker with your wins, your losses, and your next steps, and then do a 30-minute blitz call. Call or DM the 5 warmest prospects that you identified with a personal note or a voice memo. So this is where you get really like hyper targeted and really personal with them, so they know it isn't just you blasting out a lot of emails and things like that. If somebody has shown interest but hasn't committed, this can push them over the edge. And then start it again. Like, go back to day 1 and book the next 10-day sprint on your calendar. If you do this 3 times in a row, you're going to get some qualified leads. You just are. So that is day 10. Whew. So here's the cadence, and I want you to copy this to your calendar. You want to do the cold email, the cold outreach that we talked about on days 0, 2, 5, 8, 12, 16, and 21. And 21 is where you send the "we're never getting back together" email. And then once you do get a call with someone and they didn't sign, you, after 2 hours, no more than 2 hours, you do a recap. After 1 day, you do the nudge. After 3 days, you send the objection reframed. After 7 days, you send them a case study. And then after 14 days, you send them the breakup. And then I wanted to show you the math on this. If you do 100 warm outreaches and you do them the way I showed you to, you should get maybe 20 replies, and you should be able to offer them 4 of your free thing, your checklist, your lead magnet, your whatever, and you should get 1 buyer out of that. So it's a little bit of Bob math, but these are averages. If you follow the scripts that I've shown you, these are kind of the normal conversion numbers over time. And that is the end of the guide. That got us to about the half-hour mark. I'm going to grab a sip of water here. Well, it's not water. It's C4 atomic grape. But does anybody have any questions? Did anybody find that interesting? Did I go too fast? Let me know that you're out there, and then we will continue on with how you can take this even further. Let's see. We got about 12 people on X, 9 on YouTube, and 1 on Facebook because it's late in the day and I haven't quite figured out how to balance the timing of these with the time zones since I moved out here. So Tyron says, let's go. Yes, sir. Let's do this. But yeah, if you're watching, let me know if you found that interesting, helpful. Maybe if it sucked, let me know that. Whatever you think, except for the annoying questions from earlier. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll wait another minute or two, and I'm going to go into the accelerator, which I'll go ahead and drop in the chat while I'm waiting on that. That rhymed. I probably should have made a short link for it, but it is what it is. All right. Well, if you found that helpful, I know there's a lot that's missing. I put together another version of it called the 10 in 10 Accelerator, the 10 in 10 days Accelerator. I wanted to call it 10 appointment in 10 days Accelerator, but the title was too long. And this is a little community I've put together on School. I just launched it today. First of all, it has the playbook included, so it'll be right there for you, although you can have the playbook for free either way. But it also puts together the Accelerator, which includes a walkthrough of like a flow chart of the exact process so you don't get lost and you can know exactly where you are at any time. And again, it includes the playbook and includes a quick start guide, which has the playbook, a offer tune-up checklist. So if you don't know what your offer is, or let me zoom in so you can see better. Your offer is, or you need some help like sorting that out, there's a checklist in there. Let me see if I can bring that up on the screen. Kent says, I've tried a similar approach, but I did not do 20 per day. And of course, I did not have a lot of success. Got a few people on the phone, but okay. Well, that means that if you got a few people on the phone with less than 20 a day, if you scale that up, you're going to see some success. But you know, as soon as I explain it's SEO, that I use to help drive leads, cricket. So don't explain that it's SEO. But we can talk about that in another stream but we have the offer tune-up checklist. This might actually help you, Ken. But you know, write your offer, and it's going to basically walk you through a tune-up. Because if you're like hearing crickets, like Kent is saying, when you give the offer, you probably need to position it in a different way, and this will help with that. And then we have the one pager, and this is going to help you figure out who you are helping, what you're helping them with, some proof that you have, the product, like what they get, the 2-option close, which we talked about a little bit, a mini ROI box to give to the client, a guarantee. So this is my guarantee. That shouldn't actually be in there, but you can use that as a guarantee. And then a call to action, which is 15 minutes, or secondary, which is buy now. So that's that. We have the script template pack, which is like all the scripts that I use. This is a calendar file, so it literally loads this right into your Outlook or your Google Calendar, so you know what you're supposed to be doing on any particular day. I built a tracker, and it's pretty, I can't preview it, but it's a pretty straightforward spreadsheet that will help you keep track of where each lead is, who you need to reach out to, their contact information, notes, and things like that. We've got the outreach mechanics, which is going to show you exactly what to do each day for your outreach to like keep it short and simple. We got the playbook, which we already looked at. We got a 21-day follow-up sequence, which is exactly what the name describes. It gives you the exact things that you need to send for the 21 days of follow-up that you do. And then we got the scripts and templates checklist, which the name is pretty straightforward. It won't let me preview that. We've got the offer tune up, and I actually walk you through how to improve your offer so that you can get a better, have a better chance of turning these appointments into sales. And then we have the outreach mechanics, which is a walkthrough of exactly what it says, the outreach mechanics. So you can kind of see that. You already have everything, Tyron. You're already in here. You just click on classroom and it'll all be right there. So, yep, you get everything that you're already in. So thank you. And yes, you already have all of this in your members area. If you can't find it, let me know after. And then you get the follow-up cadence walkthrough, which is there. And the bonuses, I put in a 21-day follow-up sequence, a Zapier recipes to trigger imports so you know to do follow-ups automatically. An irresistible offer layout, a value stack, and a 2 options close, a swipe library. So, have different things that you can send and say, a 1-page offer sheet, and proof and swipe library, which I've already shown. And all of that is one time for $37. You just go to that link. It's just a one-time thing, $37. No upsells, at least not now. There may be in the future, but $37 get you all the bonuses, all the scripts, the calendar, the training. It gets you access to the community, where I'll be answering questions. And again, I just launched this today, so you'll get to be in on the ground floor. And the reason I'm offering this is because I really don't need the $37. I just want to help people at a specific level, and I just find that if there's a value exchange, they're more likely to follow it. And there's absolutely no risk, because if you do this, and if you buy this and you try it for 30 days. And you don't book any qualified meetings, and remember, I defined what a qualified appointment is, I'll refund you your money, because I don't need the $37. I'm trying to be helpful. And so there's literally no risk as long as you do the work. You spend $37. That's less than like a bloomin' onion and I don't know whatever you get at Outback. and it'll help you book 10 appointments in the next 10 days. And if you follow it, you should see success. And if you don't, then that's on me. That means I failed you, and I'll refund you, because that's how you run ethical businesses, is you make sure you get people results or you give them their money back. So, if you want to check that out, it's school.com/think. You know what? Let me make a pretty link for that in the meantime. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're not interested in that, you can still grab the playbook completely for free. But let me get a short link for this. Yeah. Pretty link. I should have done this at a time, but I didn't think. And target URL. And copy. All right. So an easier link to go to is superstarseo.com/accelerator. It'll redirect you right there, but it's just a little easier to remember. So check that out. And again, if you do this, if you hit this and you do it and it doesn't work, I'll give you your money back. I think it will work. I've done it myself. I've had success with it. Kent even said that he used something similar and got people on the phone. It was just a matter of closing. But check it out. $37. You can't beat the price. The price is going to go up next week when I take this to a cold audience, because it costs more money to reach them, if I'm being perfectly honest. That's what I had for you today. I can take any questions on any topic except for the ones that were being annoying earlier. But let me know if you found this interesting, helpful. If you have any questions, whatever it is, just give me some engagement, because I feel like I'm talking to myself. And there is literally nobody watching on TikTok, so we're just going to go ahead and end that. And now, new achievement unlocked. Go live for 10 hours. Hey, I got an achievement. That means literally nothing to me, but All righty. Shannon says, hey, I'm in. Welcome aboard, Shannon. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it up for another few minutes. But if you have any questions on anything, business, SEO, freelancing, but not technical support questions, but freelancing, whatever, I'm happy to help. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe. Put out a new video this morning as well. It hasn't taken off yet. For whatever reason, it takes my videos 24 hours to take off. But if you could subscribe, that would be great. We're going to get back into doing some live streams and things like that. But yeah. I know it's late on a Friday night, so no questions go far. I'll go over the course and implement. My man. If you have any questions, just drop them in the School community. I almost put this on Kajabi rather than School because Kajabi lets me have like more flexibility as far as the different like features it has. But the community is why I chose School. So not that you really asked about any of that, but yeah, so check that out. But the link is, if you're watching this in the future, it will always be at this link. So superstarseo.com/accelerator. But if you have any questions on anything else or anything else you'd like me to get into, so go on. This may not be relevant, but I use ChatGPT to help me wipe a computer with Windows 10, install Linux Mint, so I would not have to throw it away. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I know what Linux is. I've never heard of Linux Mint, but it's been a while since I've been in any IT beyond what I have to do to function. Although I did work in IT for, I guess, I don't know, probably 10 years combined. So I do have some background, but yeah. Even created the boot disk. Man, what a time to be alive, eh? Like, you can just type a sentence into ChatGPT and like have shit happen. So it's just a wonderful time to be alive. Again, it's superstarseo.com/accelerator. It's $37 one time. I think that's kind of ridiculously cheap, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I'd like to see some people implement this in their business because I want you to succeed. I want you to break through the bottlenecks that you have. And this, according to what people told me, was the biggest bottleneck that they have is breaking through the $10,000 or 10,000, excuse me, $5,000 a month plateau. So that's why we created this. That's why I spent all last weekend writing this, building the deliverables, the videos, the sales page, every bit of it. I did, other than the graphics, I did myself. So I want you to succeed. So I hope that you'll take this and put it to work. Babana Steve, what is the step-by-step guide to buying backlinks? I don't really know what you mean. I have a guide that I use for business owners that includes the backlinks that I use. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm not really sure. Let me see if I can find the link to that for you. Yeah, here it is. I don't know if this is what you mean, but I will share that with you as well. I think I recognize you from Legit, unless there's somebody else that has Babana in their name recently. Yeah, that guide is my SEO guide. I don't know if that's what you were asking about. But today we're focused on this, which is to help people get some more appointments and some more leads, and not more leads, but more appointments and more sales, because that's how you break through that plateau, is you sell more shit. You know, Kashif shared this live stream. Thank you, Kashif. Man, they just killed the reach on Facebook Live. That's such a bummer. That was like such a key part of my business early on. All right, I'm going to stick around for another minute or two. Yes, that's me on Legit. Awesome. Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll stick around for another minute or two, and then I'm going to let people go do weekend stuff. I guess it's a holiday weekend too. I think at least in America, I think Monday is the holiday where we celebrate working people by not working, because that makes sense. So anyway, I'll let people get to that in just a minute. Not that I can stop you even before that, but please subscribe while you're here. Check out some of my latest videos. I'm put out 4 in the last week. So Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to try to keep that cadence going forward because I want to provide you as much value as I possibly can. So when I do offer to sell you something, you'll be more likely to buy it. And I'm being transparent about why I do that too. I'm not going to pretend like I have nothing to sell you, because I do. But I want to make you like me by doing things for you for free and to begin with. Canada too, I think. Oh, well. Austin Marie says, thank you for your effort. Thank you, Austin. Or is it Austin E? Could be either. I'm thinking it's Austin though. But anyhow, this is it. Go to superstarseo.com/accelerator. Spend $37. Implement this. If it works, that means you got some calls. If it doesn't work, that means you get your money back if you request it. That's literally the definition of no risk. Is it true that you are not? I literally just said that. I said that I'm trying to give you things cheaply and content to help you so you'll spend more money with me. I literally just said that. Like the content on my channel is for free. This is so you will improve your business, so you will be able to buy more things from me. That's the whole reason I'm doing this, but it helps you in the meantime as well. And there's literally no risk. Like if you buy it and you do it and it doesn't work, then I'll give you your money back. I don't need your $37. The only reason I charge for that is because I find people are more likely to do something when they pay for it, which defies logic, but yeah. Yes, I am trying to make money. I'm not going to lie to you like somebody else and say I have nothing to sell you, because I do have things to sell you. And when I give you things for free, it's to make you more likely to buy from me in the future. And when I give you things for an expensive amount, it's to hopefully help you grow so you make more money so you can buy even more things from me down the line. Maybe that being that blunt is off-putting to some people, but I would rather be open about my intentions than be deceptive or be a guru or be a scammer or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, I apologize. Whew. Thanks a million. Thank you. Thank you. Please check this out. And if you haven't, if you don't want to invest right now, it's $37. I don't even know if you can really call that an investment. But if you just want the playbook, I'll go ahead and throw that link in the chat one more time before we peace out. And then I'll let you go. But then you can go enjoy your holiday weekend if it is indeed a holiday for you. If it's not, you can enjoy your regular weekend if you're one of the people that enjoys those. So, but again, $37, superstarseo.com/accelerator. If you don't book a qualified call, you can get your money back if you so choose. So there's literally nothing to risk. And, it's $37. So it's like not that much risk to begin with. Kent says, see you, man. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend as well, Kent. All right. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes and then we're going to wrap it up. And I will see you. I don't know if I'll do something tomorrow. Probably not. Because, again, holiday. I forget about those because I don't like holidays. If Ortiz is watching this, he's laughing. Because it's a running gag of ours, how much I don't like holidays. So if you have any questions on anything, this is your last chance for today. If you don't, I will see you in the future. Because... yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that sentence was headed. Tyron says, cheers. Cheers, Tyron. Check out the training this weekend or whenever you have time. Let me know. Let me know if it's something you're going to implement, if you have questions, if you need help, whatever it is. Thank you for jumping on. I certainly appreciate it. I like action takers. I know I can be a bit of a dick about stuff like that, but it's just because I want everyone to succeed, and I get frustrated when people don't. So, yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Let me come back on camera. Thank you all for showing up. I know this was last minute. I know it's on the East Coast anyway. It's almost 6 o'clock on a Friday, which is the dead zone as far as content engagement goes. So the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with me is something I will always appreciate and never take for granted. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be back either over the weekend or next week with something else. Until then, figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself. And you owe it to the world to be the best version of you. I'll see you again soon. Peace.